Hi, my name's Sarah Hanratty. I'm a nutritionist and a GAPS practitioner, and one of the questions that I want to cover today is your child ready for GAPS intro? Many of my clients are taking advantage of the long summer holidays to put their to run through the first few stages of the introduction diet with their child. But there are a few things that you need to make sure are in place before you start such an intensive protocol, and we're just going to run through a few of them here. Firstly, you must make sure that your child isn't struggling with constipation at all, because the lower fibre in the introduction diet could exacerbate constipation, and as we rely on it as a key route for toxins to leave the body, it could also exacerbate a lot of their health issues. So that's a really important one. You need to see a practitioner if your child has chronic constipation that's just not shifting on the full GAPS diet, or any other measures that you've tried. That's something that needs to be addressed first and foremost. The other things to consider are, are you already on full GAPS? Or if not, if you're coming from another kind of diet, have you reduced the amount of sugar in your child's diet? Have you removed gluten? It's recommended to do this before you head straight into the introduction diet to avoid any severe blood sugar issues and withdrawal problems in those first few days of GAPS intro. It's almost like easing into the diet gently. It will generally be easier to run through the introduction diet if you've taken those steps beforehand. Which brings me to my next point. Is your child going to have enough time to rest? If there's a full-on schedule going on over the summer, then it's probably not the right time to do GAPS intro. Your child needs to be able to rest as and when they feel the need to, and you need to be able to focus on food prep to avoid falling off the wagon. And have you found a good source of grass-fed meat and fats and free-range eggs? I mean, it's a really important point, because we know that the nutritional properties of animals reared this way are generally better than intensively reared animals. So on GAPS intro, you're going to be eating a really large amount of these kind of foods, and you're going to be making bucket loads of meat stock. So it's super important that you've got a good, reliable source of those kind of foods. And the other thing about going on with moving forward with GAPS intro is your children need to be drinking a lot of meat stock, especially in those early stages. You want them to be having, if they will drink it on its own, you want them to be having a cup with each of their meals. If they're only having it in soups and stews, then pretty much that's their breakfast, dinner and tea. If your child isn't keen on meat stock in any way, whether that's drinking it or having it in soups and stews, then that's something you need to work on before you go on the introduction diet. Children with sensory issues or autism might benefit from seeing a practitioner to find ways that they can increase their stock intake. Sometimes zinc supplementation can work to increase the appetite and reduce sensory issues, or using therapeutic strategies like those employed in the Sunrise program or ABA programs. And if all else fails, then you can look at using supplements in place of stocks, but that would need to be looked at sort of by a professional, by a practitioner. It also helps if your child's able to tolerate a good level of probiotics before embarking on intro, because as one of the ways that you will make progress through the stages is by ramping up the probiotic doses. So if your child's particularly sensitive to even slight increases in probiotics, maybe try a different brand or start on a single strain product to see whether that makes a difference, because you need to be able to move quite swiftly through to a therapeutic dose. I mean, you can still attempt the intro diet to see whether the sensitivity passes, but if you struggle with increasing the dose, you might want to investigate why that might be. And lastly, make sure you have your detox protocols in place. So make sure you have enough Epsom salts for plenty of detox baths, and also avoid exposure to extra toxins through household cleaning products and personal care products, swimming in chlorinated water. And make sure your water's filtered too. You don't want to add extra burden to your body, to your child's body, while it's detoxing. So good luck.